My beloved child, there is a sacred law etched into the very fabric of this universe, the law of cause and effect. No one, whether mighty or small, whether acting in the light or in the shadows, can escape this unchanging rule. Every action, whether a fleeting thought, a small whispered word, or a meticulously calculated deed performed in secrecy, is recorded by the universe without error. The universe does not forget. Every act you do, and every act done to you, plants a seed. And sooner or later, that seed will sprout and bear fruit on the very ground of the life of the one who sowed it. The universe may not respond immediately. More often it remains silent and still, as if nothing has happened. Do not let that silence deceive you. Do not think that injustice will remain forever hidden, that the wounds you have suffered will go unanswered. For when the universe acts, it does not whisper. It roars like a tempest, like thunder reverberating across the heavens. The response of the universe is not merely balance. It is a righteous judgment, impartial and unrelenting, and all that has been concealed in darkness will be dragged into the light, as surely as the dawn drives away the night. Every time someone pierces your heart with cruel words, every time a covert hand sows schemes along your path, every time betrayal strikes like an arrow through your fragile trust, all these things are recorded, not merely as fleeting accusations, but as echoes resounding into the deepest realms of heaven, where justice never slumbers. My child, the universe may seem silent in the moment, appearing unmoved by the wrongs you endure, but do not let that silence deceive your heart. For when the reckoning comes, it will not arrive as a faint whisper. It will come as thunder, tearing across the skies, as a great flood sweeping away all deceit. Destiny, under my governance, overlooks nothing. No wound you have suffered goes unmeasured by absolute justice. No thorns strewn across your path by others will fail to return to them in the time I choose and in the manner I ordain. There are justices that require waiting. There are consequences that must ripen in silence. But they will surely come. Not early, not late, but precisely at the appointed moment, so that every soul may witness and bow before what is right. My child, when you are hurt, your natural impulse is to crave immediate justice. You long to see those who harmed you face swift consequences, to have your inner wounds immediately mended. But remember this: true justice is never rushed. It does not arise from fleeting rage, but from mercy tempered with deliberate wisdom, from a foresight far beyond the short-sighted calculations of human understanding. And it is because of this patience that, when justice falls, it will be complete, undeniable, and it will teach every soul a lesson they will never forget. You may ask, how can I bear to see the wicked thrive while I walk with tears? My child, let me remind you. Those who sow the wind will surely reap the whirlwind. Those who build their thrones with betrayal, lies, and selfishness will see those thrones collapse beneath them on a day they least expect. And those who walk patiently in integrity, those who endure without letting their hearts be poisoned by hatred, will be lifted high by me and established on an unshakable foundation. I am not calling you to be a judge. I am calling you to be one who trusts. Trust that I see everything. Trust that I remember everything. Trust that in my appointed time, everything will be set right. Therefore, lay aside any thirst for vengeance. Do not take upon yourself the role of the righteous judge. Do not let anger contaminate the pure waters of your soul. Release the pain. Entrust your wounds to me, and continue walking in the radiant freedom I have prepared for you, my beloved child. When you refuse to take revenge, you are not weak. You are choosing the higher road. The path walked by those who know that the Supreme Judge still reigns upon his throne, and that every cry for justice will be answered by an unshakable power. You are choosing freedom from the heavy burden of hatred, so that you may soar higher, so that you may receive the blessings that only a pure heart can sustain. There are those in your life who, blinded by pride and jealousy, believed that by dragging you down into the mud, they could erase you from the game altogether. They thought that through slander, backstabbing, disdainful glances, and secret plots, they could suffocate the light I placed within you since before the foundations of the universe were laid. But, my dear child, they were gravely mistaken, for they did not know that you are not one to be buried and forgotten. You are one who is blessed, who, the deeper you are pushed into the ground, the stronger your roots grow, and the more powerfully you rise again in the light. They mocked your dreams, ridiculed the faith you carried in your heart. They doubted your abilities, sneered at your small trembling steps as you tried to move forward through overwhelming difficulties. They schemed in secret, plotting each move to trip you, to dishearten you, to make you abandon the divine mandate I had placed within your soul. Yet, even as they busied themselves weaving traps, even as they rejoiced over your temporary setbacks, the universe, under my supreme orchestration, continued patiently propelling you forward. They did not realize that the trials they set before you would only serve as materials for your growth. Every sneer, every betrayal, every invisible wall they tried to build against your path became rain and sunlight to nourish your roots, causing you to dig deeper, stand firmer, and reach higher. While they were preoccupied with crafting masks to hide their own fears and insecurities, the universe was quietly strengthening you, carrying you closer to your true destiny, a destiny of light, of unveiling, of unstoppable victory. As for them, those who once deceived themselves into believing they could control everything in their grasp, they do not see that they are now falling helplessly into the very traps they set. They evade the lessons of sincerity, of love, of humility, but the more they run, the deeper they sink into the mirrored reflection of their own soul's lack. This is not merely a paradox of life, it is a universal law. Those who refuse to learn the lessons of the light must learn them through the darkness. The bitter truth they never foresaw is this: the more they strive to hinder you, the more they try to crush your wings, the more they unwittingly awaken a strength within you that they never imagined possible. They conspired to break your will, but every blow only forged in you an unbreakable spirit. They hoped to make you surrender, but instead they propelled you to the edge, where miracles are born. For when a soul dares to rise after every fall, there is no force on earth that can ever subdue it again. And here lies the judgment they cannot escape. They will be forced to watch as you rise, flourish, and shine right before their very eyes, while they, who once laughed and scorned, become entangled in the very net woven from their own pettiness and pride. They wished your pain would be their victory, but in the end, it is your triumph, your uncontainable joy, that becomes the deepest wound to their own hearts. Your success does not need to be loudly displayed. Your very presence, resilient, quiet, shining in an undeniable way, is enough to leave them bewildered, bitter, and forced to confront the shattered pieces within themselves. This is the fiercest kind of confrontation, not through noisy revenge, but through the unwavering steadiness of a soul that knows it belongs to the light. My beloved child, understand this. Every step you take on this journey is not just a victory for yourself, but a resounding declaration that light cannot be extinguished by darkness, that kindness cannot be crushed by malice, and that love endures far beyond hatred. This is an eternal triumph, one that needs no shouting, no boasting. It is simple, yet majestic. It is humble, yet invincible. Let yourself continue to blossom and rise, not to prove anything to anyone, but to remain faithful to the destiny that the universe has set apart for you. Let every step you take be a silent answer to all who have ever doubted you. Let your heart, though once wounded and bleeding, continue to beat with the rhythms of love, of hope, of rebirth. And know this as well: you are under no obligation to prove anything to those who turned their backs on you. You need only to live true to the truth planted deep within your soul. For each day you live wholeheartedly, each dream you nurture with integrity, each smile you offer despite the losses you have endured, these are the loudest declarations that light always wins, that a soul nourished by faith shall never perish. Do not carry unnecessitated burdens in your heart. Do not allow the betrayal of others to become chains around your spirit. Walk lightly, carrying within you the unshakable faith that everything unfolding is part of a greater plan. A plan designed to forge you into the most radiant version of yourself you could ever become. And if one day you find yourself standing atop a peak you once thought was out of reach, remember this: it is not because you have retaliated against those who hurt you. It is because you have conquered yourself, conquered doubt, conquered pain, conquered the dark despair that once threatened to drown you. My beloved child, what you are experiencing is not merely growth as the world understands it. It is something far more sacred, a deep transformation, a profound fusion between your soul and the sovereign will of the one who created you. This is the moment when you no longer live solely for yourself, when you are no longer swept along by the hurried, shallow rhythms of the world, but instead begin to move to a sacred rhythm, where each step carries eternal weight, where every decision echoes into eternity. What is happening now is a recompense, a holy vindication that requires no hand of yours to demand justice. It is the universe itself. It is the very law of righteousness inscribed into the fabric of life rising to defend you. And you will see every injustice you endured, every tear you silently shed, every dream you thought had been buried. They are all being revived, reborn in a new garden, where no hand shall ever destroy them. But before I lead you further on this journey, before I open before your eyes the new gates you have long yearned for in secret, I need you to be honest with yourself. I must ask you, and you must answer with your whole heart. Are you truly willing to leave behind your old way of living, the way of chasing the acceptance of the crowd, the way of seeking comfort over truth? Are you ready to abandon the striving to fit in order to step into a life that has been set apart, a life called out from the masses to serve a higher purpose? For a profound transformation is about to be marked within your soul. A door once opened can never again be closed. A light, once it pierces your heart, will no longer allow the old shadows to dwell within. You will no longer be able to return to the way you used to live, no longer able to compromise with the shallow sweetness the world offers. You will begin to see, clearly and undeniably, the signs that have always been there, the whispers of the one who has long waited for you to truly listen. The doubts that once clung to you like a heavy cloak will gradually fall away. The fears that once shackled your steps will lose their hold. You will no longer wonder if you are on the right path, for you will feel it in every breath, in every beat of your heart, that you are being led by an invisible yet undeniable hand. You will start to recognize the so-called coincidences that were never truly random, the seemingly accidental turns that in truth were perfectly orchestrated. However, my beloved, to be set apart always comes with a cost. It is the price of holy loneliness, of long nights when it is just you and me facing each other in the silence. It is the cost of no longer leaning on the recognition of others, of no longer finding easy comfort in the crowd. But in exchange, you will be given something that nothing in this world can buy: a deep certainty that you are living according to your sacred destiny. Do not be afraid when those who once walked beside you begin to fall away. Do not be confused when old relationships dissolve without warning or explanation. Do not panic when you find yourself alone on paths where few dare to tread, for what is falling away is not loss. It is purification. The universe is clearing the way around you to prepare for new alignments, new companions, new souls who, like you, have been set apart to build something that will endure. You may feel disoriented at times. Your heart may ache with longing for the old days, the familiar images of the past. But be patient. Trust that this momentary loneliness is not a sign that you are lost. It is proof that you are journeying deeper into truth. You are being lifted out of the lower planes of fleeting desires and called into the endless depths of true meaning. And then, as the days pass, you will find your strength restored, not the strength that comes from force, nor the power built on control, but the strength of a soul made free, the strength of one who knows they are loved, chosen and entrusted with a mission so sacred that heaven itself watches in silence. You will no longer compete with others, for you will understand that your journey is uniquely yours. You will no longer be haunted by comparison, for you will know that light never needs to strive against darkness. Light simply shines, and that is what you will become, a light that cannot be hidden. Therefore, my beloved child, as you read these words, pause for a moment. Close your eyes and ask your heart, are you ready? Ready to cast off the worn garments of mediocrity? Ready to relinquish the fear of abandonment, the craving for acceptance, in exchange for the acceptance of the one who fashioned you from the beginning of time? If your heart whispers yes, then know this: a new chapter is beginning to unfold in your life, a journey not everyone dares to embark upon. But for those who do, there is no desire to return. For from this moment onward, you no longer belong to the darkness of doubt. You belong to the light of divine choice, calling, and affirmation. My beloved, if you have listened this far, if your heart is still beating with a genuine longing, then know that you are standing before a threshold few have the courage to cross. For this message is not for the timid, not for those who cling to the false safety of the crowd. It is a sacred invitation, reserved for the chosen ones, those whose souls were marked from the beginning with a mission greater than themselves. Let these words soak into your soul as water soaks into parched earth, as light pierces every hidden shadow. Do not let doubt or fear blur the voice that is now echoing within your heart. Do not miss what has been destined for your life, a destiny far beyond the ordinary dreams the world has whispered into your ears. For if you turn away now, if you reject this calling, you will forfeit a rare opportunity to live in the fullness of the eternal destiny that was written for you among the countless stars in the heavens. If deep within your heart you feel that you are ready to embrace what the enemy of your soul has tried for so long to keep from you, then open your heart wide. Cast off every old assumption, every limitation that others have imposed upon you. It is time to stop thinking of yourself as merely ordinary, to stop confining yourself by the small whispers of doubt. Because, my beloved, you were not born to live a life of mediocrity. You were not created to simply walk in the footsteps of others, repeating worn-out, crumbling dreams. You were born for something greater, for a breakthrough so profound that heaven and earth hold their breath to witness it. You are a vital part of a divine plan, an irreplaceable link in the endless symphony of life. And here is the truth. You have been chosen. Not because you are perfect, not because you are stronger than others, but because within you the Creator sees a flame, small perhaps, sometimes flickering, but one that refuses to be extinguished, a flame that, when fanned by truth, will become a beacon to guide even the most lost of souls. When you bravely accept this truth, when you stand tall and embrace your destiny without shame or hesitation, everything will begin to come into focus. The veils that once covered your vision will fall. Paths that were once obscured will appear. Questions that went unanswered for years will find their echo in the silence of your soul. For what you are about to hear, what is now beginning to awaken within you, is not merely information. It is not just fragments of knowledge to be filed away in your mind. This is an activation, a deep awakening that will penetrate every layer of your soul, stirring parts you thought had died, reviving abilities that have lain dormant for far too long within your heart. This is the moment when your true essence is being summoned into the light. No more hiding. No more shrinking back. No more asking for permission to exist. This is the moment you are born again, not by flesh, but by will and awakening. But, my beloved child, know this. This activation will not always be easy. The new light will shine into the hidden corners you once grew accustomed to concealing. It will compel you to confront your deepest fears, your unhealed wounds, and your forgotten dreams. It will demand that you forgive those who never deserved it, release what you have clung to for far too long, and walk forward with a heart laid bare, unshielded, and vulnerable. It will require you to relinquish reputation, acceptance, and even old dreams in exchange for one precious thing: true freedom. A freedom that no one can give you and no one can take away. A freedom found in knowing you are living in full alignment with your divine purpose, regardless of what the world may think. You will need courage. Not the courage to fight others, but the courage to battle the doubts within yourself. Courage to believe that you are worthy of love, of light, of guidance. Courage to trust that even when you stumble, even when you fail, even when you are rejected. Your value remains unshaken before the eyes of the one who called you out from among the crowd, and you will need patience, for this path will not always be smooth. There will be days when you wonder if you have chosen rightly. There will be nights when your tears fall, not from weakness, but because your soul is stretching to a new and wider dimension. But remember this: in every aching moment, you are drawing nearer to the person you were born to become. Let this truth be etched into your very flesh. Let it become the rhythm of your heartbeat, the breath in your lungs, the light in your eyes. For once you accept the truth that you are chosen, the entire universe will begin to rearrange itself to support you. Doors that once seemed forever closed will swing open. Unexpected help will find its way to you. Destined encounters will unfold, leading you exactly where you need to be. You will no longer need to struggle to prove your worth. The mere presence of your vibrant soul will be the most powerful testimony, and the world will know, one way or another, that a chosen one has walked among them, not to glorify themselves, but to bring light into the hidden places, to awaken what has long slumbered, to rekindle hope in hearts that have grown barren. Now, my beloved, a brand new chapter is slowly unfolding, a chapter where the beautiful irony of destiny will begin to shine, revealing things that you once could only faintly sense in the shadowlands of faith. This is the sweet reward the universe bestows upon the souls who refuse to yield, upon the hearts that chose to stand firm even as the storms raged without mercy. Those who once sought to hinder your steps, those who whispered doubts behind your back, sowing seeds of suspicion in the hearts of others, will now have no choice but to watch as your name is lifted in places they never even had the standing to enter. They will see you invited to tables where they have no seat. They will hear your name echo in rooms where only those who dared to live by true light are honored. In days past, they mocked your dreams. They ridiculed your trembling steps, thinking that your small perseverance would be swiftly extinguished by the storms of life. They fanned flames, hoping the fire would consume your faith, your will, even your soul. But what they never understood is this: you were crafted from an essence that cannot be burned away. You are not mere ashes to be scattered by the wind. You are pure gold. Gold that does not fear the fire, but only becomes more radiant with every trial it endures. Each time they attack, they only further prove what the universe has always known: that you were not born to be buried, but to rise, not to wither away in silence, but to blaze into an unquenchable flame. The wounds they inflicted upon you, rather than draining your strength, have become the cracks through which an even greater light can shine forth from your soul. My beloved one, understand this deeply. You have not missed any opportunity. Though there have been moments when you felt as though you had fallen short, as though doors had slammed shut before you, as though your dreams had been swept away by cold winds, the sacred truth remains. It was not you who missed those opportunities. It was those opportunities, fashioned by human hands and adorned with vanity, that missed you. They were never vast enough, never pure enough to contain the destiny you carry within. The universe never allows a chosen soul to beg at the gates of the ordinary. When you find yourself unwelcome in a place, do not grieve, do not accuse. Understand this: perhaps that place is too small for the magnitude to which you are steadily ascending. Perhaps that table is not clean enough for your soul to sit without dimming its inner light. And marvelously, the irony does not end there. You will witness those who once belittled you, who once failed to recognize your worth, now being confronted with an undeniable reality. It is not you who needs them. It is they who now need what you carry. They will come to realize that what they once discarded and trampled underfoot are the very treasures they can no longer find anywhere else. Your rising is not an act of revenge. It is a living testament to the faithfulness of the universe towards souls who refuse to forsake themselves. It is a silent yet piercing answer, sharper than any argument, that light does not need to shout to declare its presence. Light simply shines, and darkness must retreat. My beloved, continue your journey with calm assurance and profound gratitude. Do not harbor bitterness against those who failed to see your value. Do not waste your time trying to prove anything to them. Let your very existence, radiant, unshakable, be the only answer you ever give. Let your success, your peace, and your unwavering stability speak louder than any words you could utter. And remember this also: the glory you are stepping into is not for you to lift your head in pride, but to bow your heart even lower in thankfulness. For you know better than anyone else. You have walked through days with no one to comfort you, through nights unseen by any witness, through moments when it was just you and the one who whispered into your spirit, "Do not give up. I am leading you." The grand rooms you are about to enter, the wide doors that will soon open to you, are not your final destination. They are mere waypoints, affirmations that you are traveling the right path. The most precious treasure has always been within you, a heart that chose to remain faithful even when unseen, a soul that chose to trust even when all around was shadow. Now, as you look back, you will see clearly. What seemed like losses were in fact liberations. What felt like rejection was in truth protection. What appeared to be failures were powerful thrusts propelling you faster toward your destiny. And those who once thought they could bury you must now watch you soar beyond their reach. My beloved child, this journey is not meant for hearts that waver. It is reserved for those who dare to believe with their whole being. And because you have dared to trust, to take steps forward even when the path was not yet clear, now you shall step into the fullness of revelation, not as a beggar seeking favor, but as a rightful heir to all that the universe has long prepared for you. Walk forward in humility, yet clothed with a holy pride. Keep your eyes lifted toward the heavens, even as your feet remain firmly grounded on the earth. Let each step you take become a hymn of praise to the one who has called you, who has preserved you, who has shaped you in the furnace, so that now you shine with an unquenchable brilliance. My beloved, when your soul was chosen, the very laws operating around you began to change. You are no longer bound by the frantic cycle of chasing after things, of grasping desperately at what does not belong to you. The life of the chosen is not built upon hurried striving or the weary attempts to prove worth. No, you no longer move according to such a lowly rhythm. When you are the chosen one, it has never been about chasing, it has always been about attracting. By your very presence, by the frequency of your soul refined through trials, by the light you emit without effort, you will naturally draw to yourself that which has been destined for you. What belongs to you will find its way, gently yet unshakably. Just as the waters find their way back to the sea, just as the light pierces through the thickest clouds, you do not need to scramble to hold on to fleeting things, nor diminish yourself seeking validation, nor exhaust your soul in desperate attempts to be chosen. Instead, the right things, the right people, and the right moments will gravitate toward you, so harmoniously, so unmistakably, that your heart will recognize them without the need for any explanation. Like a puzzle piece long awaited on the distant shore of time, now set perfectly into place, completing the masterpiece of your life. When that moment comes, you will not need to argue, to prove, or to shout in order to be heard. The rightness of it all will resonate through the silence. The harmony will speak louder than any words. It is a convergence arranged since the dawn of creation, a sacred intertwining of that which has always been written into your destiny. And because of your emergence, your silent yet undeniable rise, your ascent has become an indelible mark upon those who once tried to hinder you, for they expected to see you fall. They anticipated your failure. Instead, they are forced to witness your growth, your rising, your dominion over spaces they never even dared to dream of. My beloved child, understand this: your steadfast presence, your serenity, your unshakable dignity, clothed in humility, is the most powerful response. It is a sharper weapon than any confrontation. For true victory is not found in defeating others. It is found in remaining undefeated, no matter how fiercely the world stands against you. Therefore, pay no mind to the whispers behind your back. Do not waste your precious breath correcting the lies woven against you. Let your life itself tell the story. Let the light within your soul reflect the truth so clearly that every falsehood falls away in silence. Continue to rise. No fanfare needed, no proofs required, no warnings given. Rise quietly but surely, like the towering mountains that ascend from the depths of the earth. Unyielding, persistent, steadfast through every passing storm. Keep walking, one step each day, no matter how small, as long as it is toward the light. Walk by faith, even when your eyes have yet to see the full path. Walk with courage, even when fear tries to anchor your feet. Walk with an open heart, even when the world closes its heart to you. And for the rest, the things beyond your control, the intricate arrangements that only heaven has the wisdom to orchestrate, leave them to the universe. Leave them to the sacred hand of the Creator to complete. For the one who planted the seed of light within your heart is the same one who will cause that seed to sprout, to grow, and to bloom. He has seen the tears you shed when no one was watching. He has heard the silent sighs when your heart was breaking. He has counted every time you collapsed and summoned the strength to rise again. And because of that, He will not let your faithfulness be in vain. Let Him continue writing the story of your life. Let Him guide the people who are meant to meet you. Open the doors that are meant to be opened for you, and orchestrate the small miracles meant to strengthen your faith. My beloved, when you live in alignment with your destiny, you do not need to wear a mask. You do not need to change yourself to fit into someone else's narrow molds. You do not need to compromise with darkness just to be loved. For the light you carry within you will naturally attract those who resonate with your frequency. and repel that which no longer aligns with your spirit. Your rising will not merely be a personal milestone. It will be a signpost for others silently watching from the shadows. It will inspire souls who are on the verge of giving up that there is still hope, there is still light, and there is still a reason to rise and keep going. My dear one, there is a sacred truth your soul must engrave deeply within itself. The rejection you once experienced was never evidence of a flaw within you. Do not allow your tender heart to believe that you were somehow not enough just because someone else failed to recognize your true worth. That rejection, in fact, was clear proof that you were too vast for minds still clouded in fog. The light within you was too radiant, your frequency too high, and your life purpose too mighty for those who were not yet ready to encounter it. The energy you carry, the steadfast purity, the unwavering loyalty, and the flame of awakening that burns within your heart, all of it forces those around you to confront the unfilled spaces within themselves. They do not truly hate you. In truth, they hate the feeling you stir within them, the feeling of abandoned potentials, of courageous choices never made. Instead of letting your light awaken the sacred slumbering within their souls, they chose the easier path, to diminish you, to belittle you, to twist your image in the minds of others, hoping somehow to cover up the insecurities raging within their own hearts. When their efforts yield no results, when they realize they cannot extinguish a flame ignited by a divine will, they walk away. They cannot remain in the presence of a soul as steadfast as a fortress amidst the storm. They turn their faces, they retreat. They seek out the shadows where they no longer have to confront the light they both fear and secretly long for. And, my dear one, that is entirely all right. Do not chase after the souls who have chosen to distance themselves from the light. Do not cling to those who lack the courage to ascend to the heights you have been called to reach. Let them go. Release them to their own journeys, without bitterness, without resentment, only with a profound compassion. For you know this: anyone who leaves you in this season is merely making room for those truly worthy to step in. When doors close, you are not losing anything. Rather, they are forfeiting the privilege of walking alongside a soul set apart to transform the world. You must understand, these departures are not failures. They are necessary purifications. A strong wind sweeping away the withered leaves so that the tree of your life may receive the brightest sunlight. Every time someone turns their back on you, it is a confirmation that you are drawing closer to your truest path, and that your light is becoming too radiant to be hidden or dimmed by mediocrity. Your very presence, your steadiness, your patience, and your unconditional love will draw to you souls who resonate with your own. Souls who are not intimidated by your light, but inspired by it. Souls who will not seek to diminish you, but will build magnificent things alongside you. Souls who will not try to mold you into a version more palatable to the world, but will love the true, luminous, and powerful being that you are. But for these souls to arrive, you must be brave enough to let the old go. You must be strong enough not to let the fear of loneliness tether you to suffocating relationships. You must trust deeply enough to know that what leaves you can never stop what is destined to come. Something more beautiful, more pure, and more aligned with the destiny you were born to fulfill. And when you stand at the crossroads of parting and choosing, Let your heart listen to the whisper of the one who called you out of darkness into light. Let his peace steady your every step, so that you do not hesitate or doubt your worth simply because others could not recognize it. For the truth is this: you have never been rejected by what truly belongs to you. True love, true opportunities, true connections, they will never require you to fight to hold on to them. What is yours, the universe will safeguard. Those who are meant for you, they will find you, and the doors destined for you will open without you needing to force them. So, my beloved, keep moving forward, with a heart unchained by fear, with a soul unwarned by temporary losses, with eyes firmly fixed on the horizon where miracles await you at journey's end. Let rejection not close your heart, but expand it even wider for new possibilities. Let harsh words not plant hatred in your soul, but cultivate even greater love in every heartbeat. And let those who turn away from you stand as living proof that your light is far too vast to ever be contained within small spaces. For in the end, you are never truly rejected. You are being protected. You are being guided away from what is small and fleeting, and led toward what is eternal and infinitely greater. And now, my beloved child, as you begin to see who truly stands with you, I urgently remind you, do not waste your precious breath chasing after what has turned its back on you. When someone chooses to walk away, when a door closes, it is not your failure. It is my loving protection. Do not mourn the things that, in my perfect wisdom, I have removed from your life. Do not cling to those who have proven unable to see the worth I have placed within you, even when I have illuminated that light so brightly before their eyes. You were chosen by me long before you were formed in your mother's womb, before the world even knew your name. When you were still a sacred thought in my heart, I already beheld something within you that was priceless beyond compare. So why would you beg for the approval of those who cannot understand, or worse, deliberately refuse to acknowledge that precious gift? You do not need to plead to be chosen when the very Creator of heaven and earth has called you by name and appointed you for purposes far greater than any human validation. O child, let those who have chosen to leave face the emptiness left by your absence. Do not force yourself through doors that have been firmly closed. Do not wound your own heart trying to hold onto what was never meant to stay in the destiny I have prepared for you. Your presence is not something others have the right to disregard. It is a blessing, a warmth, a light. When you leave a place, that place becomes colder, emptier, poorer, whether they admit it or not. Let silence answer the questions that were never spoken aloud. Let the void you once filled with sincere love awaken their realization of what they have lost. Do not explain yourself. Do not strive to prove your worth. Do not shrink yourself to fit into the narrow vision of those who cannot see beyond their own smallness. Your value does not diminish simply because others lack the ability to recognize it. There are those who will only comprehend your importance once you are beyond their reach. Some hearts will only weep for the loss when it is too late to make amends. But that is no longer your burden to bear. Do not look back. Do not bind yourself to the whirlwinds of regret. Do not waste the pearls of your soul on those who cannot appreciate their worth. You were created to live, to love, to shine. not to be trapped by the shortcomings of others. O my child, you are the dawn that darkness cannot overcome. You are the lamp that no winds of doubt or criticism can extinguish. You carry within you my breath, my strength, and my dignity. So why seek validation from those whose own souls are still wandering, lost in the night? Lift your head high. Walk forward with holy pride, not arrogance, but a firm, rightful awareness of the value and mission I have placed upon your life. I know there will be moments when you feel lonely. There will be long nights when your soul cries out from the emptiness left by broken relationships. But beloved one, that is not a sign that you have failed. It is simply the echo of purification, the evidence that I am refining your path, clearing away what no longer aligns with your destiny, preparing you for a new circle, a true family of faith, those who will see you through my eyes and love you with a heart that reflects my love for you. Therefore, stop striving to remain in places where your soul is no longer welcomed. Be courageous enough to let go. Letting go is not weakness. It is the strength of knowing you deserve more. Letting go is not failure. It is the surrender of faith that, if I have closed one door, I have certainly prepared another. A door that will lead you into a new season of growth, elevation, and deeper fulfillment. Believe this: every true loss in me is exchanged for something far better. Not a single tear you shed over those who could not see your worth will be wasted. I gather every drop, and I will use them to water the new seeds quietly sprouting within you. Seeds of new joy, of purer relationships, of great opportunities you have not yet dared to dream. My beloved child, do not let your soul be entangled with those who lack the maturity to cherish the gift that is your presence. They have their own journey to walk, with lessons only time and their own choices can complete. As for you, continue moving forward, with steps that are light yet steadfast, with a heart that is open yet wisely guarded, and with eyes ever fixed on the future I have already prepared for you. A future overflowing with hope, strength, and victory. Live as though you know you are loved unconditionally. Love as though you have never been wounded. Walk as though all of heaven is cheering for your every step, for in truth, that is exactly what is happening. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. You are touched, protected, and called by the one who wove every fiber of your soul with an eternal purpose. It is no accident that you have passed through the dark valleys of pain. It is no accident that you have tasted rejection, betrayal, and disappointment from those you once trusted. All of it is woven into my intricate design, born from a mercy and wisdom far beyond human understanding. It is the closing of doors that has forced you to seek higher paths. It is the painful refusals that have driven your roots deeper into the soil of faith, where no storm can ever uproot you again. When the world turned away, when they refused to acknowledge you, it was I who quietly propelled you into a greater process, a sacred refining journey, shaping you into the strongest, brightest version of yourself. Do not view rejection as failure, my child. It in no way diminishes your worth. On the contrary, it highlights your true dignity. Just as gold reveals its purity through fire, just as diamonds are born through unimaginable pressure deep within the earth, so too is your soul being shaped and refined through collisions and losses that seemed at times to threaten your very breaking. It is precisely through these wounds that you have been compelled to look higher, to dig deeper, to cling tighter to me. They have opened the doorway to a maturity no other experience could provide. Had those people not left, had those doors not closed, you might have remained trapped in small spaces, squandering the great potential I have sown within you. Understand this, my child. The departure of some people was necessary to clear the path ahead. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your new season of harvest. Not everyone possesses the generosity of heart to see and treasure the treasures I have hidden within your soul. And I love you far too much to allow toxic ties to hold you back from the glorious destiny that has already been written for you. So do not grieve. Do not cling to what has passed. Stand tall, my beloved child. Lift your head high with the sacred pride of one who knows exactly where they belong. The losses you once thought were setbacks were in truth acts of purification. The hands that once held you without cherishing you, the eyes that once looked upon you with doubt or disdain, all of these have been sifted out from your path, so that only those souls worthy of your journey may continue with you. Walk forward in peace, for what awaits you ahead will not require you to strain to prove your worth. It will recognize you instantly, like a sacred response. The ones who belong to your new season will not ask you to shrink yourself to fit into their narrow confines. They will see the light within you and rejoice. They will perceive your preciousness not by what you can offer them, but simply because of who you are, because of your presence, because of your pure essence, because you are you. No more battles for attention, no more desperate striving for acceptance, no more long nights of agonizing over what you might be lacking. In this new season, you will walk into rooms where you need no introduction, because your presence will declare all that needs to be said. You will meet souls whose hearts resonate with yours, who will know by a single glance that you belong here. I have foreseen that moment. I have prepared the doors that will open before you. I have laid out tables in rooms where your enemies cannot touch you. I have appointed those who will come alongside you, not to confine you, but to unlock the best within you, but to step into this new season. My child, you must fully release the old. You must unclench your hands from relationships that have withered. You must let go of old dreams that no longer match the new form I am shaping within you. You must allow old wounds to heal, not through numbness, but through love and through trust that I have a good plan for your life. Rejection does not define you. Temporary failure does not write the final chapter of your life. The refusals of others do not diminish the radiant light I ignited within you from the beginning. On the contrary, these very things only serve to highlight even more clearly your true nature, strong, resilient, and unquenchable. Oh, my beloved child, every step you are about to take, every door you are about to walk through, is the result of a refining process through which I have patiently walked with you, day after day, night after night. Every loss, every tear, every seemingly endless dark night, it was never in vain. They have prepared you to become the one I need you to be. You carry within you a sacred weight, a silent but undeniable power, and a presence that no one can ignore or dismiss. You do not need to shout your name. You do not need to boast or strain to prove anything, for even in silence, even as you simply stand in stillness, your soul crafted by my light, radiates vibrations strong enough to stir the very atmosphere around you. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts. Your presence exposes what once hid behind facades. The genuine souls will feel comforted and uplifted simply by your presence. But the double-hearted, those who cloak themselves in subtle deception, will feel unsettled, even fearful, because the light within you refuses to allow their darkness to remain concealed. You need not expose anyone with words. Your pure and steadfast essence will do so on its own. Your presence, my child, is the presence of truth in a world drowning in deceit. You are the silent cry of righteousness amid the clamorous noise of falsehood. You are a living reminder to those who have forgotten who they once were, that there are still souls that cannot be bought, cannot be bent, and cannot be silenced. You are not merely someone who walks into a room. You are a force, a silent earthquake shaking the fragile foundations of kingdoms built upon sand. Never underestimate the influence you carry. Do not let the silence of others make you doubt the power that is at work within you. There will be those who will never dare to admit that your presence has shaken them. They will force a smile. They will turn away. They will pretend that nothing has changed. But deep within, they know. They know they have encountered something they cannot explain, and they cannot deny. My beloved, I have placed within your soul a light that unsettles places long accustomed to darkness. That is why at times you may feel unwelcome. At times your very presence will stir discomfort, defensiveness, even silent hostility from those not yet ready to face the truth about themselves. But do not let this cause you to shrink back. Do not let fear dim the light you carry. I did not ignite that flame within you so it could be hidden. I lit it so it could illuminate places desperate for truth, healing, and liberation. You were not created to blend in with the crowd for the sake of comfort. You were created to stand apart, to carry divine disruption, to shake systems that have decayed from within, to bring to the surface what has long been buried, to awaken a yearning for restoration in souls that have forgotten they once belonged to the light. And my child, that presence you carry is not something you could have manufactured by your own strength. It was forged as you surrendered to me, allowing me to shape you through battles, through losses, through long nights of wrestling. It was born from your choice to stand when everything around you gave you reason to fall. It was born from your decision to keep your heart pure, to keep your faith alive, to keep compassion burning, even when the world around you grew cold and indifferent. Never doubt the unseen but mighty value you possess, my child. You do not need to shout to be heard. You do not need to argue to be acknowledged. Simply be present and let your soul speak louder than any words. Walk forward with the unshakable certainty of one who carries an entire kingdom within, and those who belong to the light will recognize you. They will draw near. They will seek out your presence like the parched seek water in the desert. Indeed, there will be rooms you enter where the atmosphere will shift instantly. Not because of power, status, or fame, but because your soul resonates with such pure truth that all pretense trembles before it. You will not need to tear down walls of deceit. Your mere presence will cause them to collapse. You will not need to expose false faces. The light within you will bring them into full view. And my beloved, I assure you, while some will avoid you, unable to withstand the clarity you carry, there will be others who will find in you a shelter for their weary hearts. They will be healed simply by your existence. They will rediscover lost faith. They will begin to dream again, to love again, to hope again, because you remained steadfast in a world that constantly changes. So do not shrink yourself just to make others feel comfortable. Do not lower the frequency of your soul just to fit into spaces that have grown accustomed to falsehood. Do not ask for permission to shine. You do not need that permission. I granted you that power long ago when I breathed my very breath into you. Walk as one who knows they carry the vibration of heaven. Be present as one who understands they can shift the very atmosphere with a single glance, a single smile, a single step. Because, my beloved child, this is the truth. You do not merely enter a room. You change the very sky above it. You stir the deepest hidden currents. You awaken hearts that were thought to be long dead, causing them to tremble once more with the first beats of life. Every step, every dream, every burning desire within your heart may seem as though it will be washed away like grains of sand in a great storm. But, my child, look deeper into their eyes, into the fleeting expressions that pass as quickly as a blink. There are things their mouths will never confess, but their souls cannot hide. It is the insecurity in their gaze, the awkward hesitation masked behind forced smiles, the envy cloaked in cold indifference, the prolonged silences stretching beyond normalcy, all bearing constant, undeniable witness to a single truth. You are not ordinary. You are the disruption to their assumed realities, the irrational force against the counterfeit structures they have so painstakingly built. They may sneer behind your back, they may belittle what you believe in, they may dismiss your efforts as if they were worthless. Yet deep within, they are painfully aware that there is something about you, something they cannot reach, cannot control, cannot erase. It is that very difference that unsettles them, and that very unrest is the clearest sign that you carry within you a sacred imprint, a calling that transcends the limits of this earthly realm. You do not need to prove yourself to this world. You are not meant to race after the fleeting mirages they dangle before your eyes. Your worth is not determined by the applause of the many, nor confined by the acceptance or rejection of mankind. You were born for a purpose far greater than momentary approval. Your name is etched into the heart of the Creator, who breathed His life into your soul and declared, "You are a light in the night, a trumpet sounding across silent deserts." O my beloved child, those who pretend not to see your light do not diminish it one bit. Those who choose to turn their backs on your worth cannot dim what heaven itself has ordained. The more they ignore, the more they fear. The more they remain silent, the more their hearts tremble. For deep down, they know your soul carries something that this world cannot easily comprehend, a presence that shakes the very ground, a silent yet fierce strength, an unbreakable endurance. You will see them try everything to make you doubt yourself. They will plant whispers into your mind that you are chasing foolish dreams, that your pursuits are meaningless, that the world will never listen to someone like you. But do not let their noise disrupt the sacred rhythm beating in your heart. Do not allow their doubts to mingle with the pure stream flowing through your soul. The truth is this: ordinary people do not make others uncomfortable. Ordinary people do not cause counterfeit walls to tremble. Only those who carry a great mission, only those called to touch the divine, possess such a power to unsettle. And you, my child, you are one of the rare few. You were not born to be swallowed by mediocrity. You were created to break free from the narrow molds, to rise like a tree reaching for the sun, even as its roots are buried deep in the darkness. Every silent prayer you have uttered, every tear you have shed in secret, every time you chose to stand firm instead of collapsing, all of it is weaving a sacred symphony that echoes into the highest heavens. Let them look at you with suspicion. Let them whisper words filled with ill will, for it is precisely through their refusal to acknowledge you that you will be refined. It is in the loneliness they force upon you that you will learn to hear more clearly the gentle yet mighty voice of the One who called you even before the foundations of the world were laid. You do not need cheap applause. You do not need fleeting glory. What you need is a loyal heart, steadfast feet, and a soul that knows how to lift its gaze higher. You are called to build something invisible to the human eye, to plant seeds whose harvest may not be seen within a lifetime, to touch hearts that do not even know yet how desperately they long to be healed. Remember this: light does not ask permission from darkness to shine. In the same way, you do not need the world's permission to become extraordinary. You were destined for it, from the very moment your soul was woven with the threads of eternity. And even when fierce storms howl, even when your dreams seem shattered under the feet of mockery, remember that you do not walk alone. The One who called you by your name walks ahead of you, clearing the path before you even realize it. Every tear you shed, He remembers. Every wound you endure, He cradles. Nothing in this journey is meaningless. Every thorny step, every painful scar, is carving into you the image of a warrior. Not one who conquers by brute force, but one who prevails through silent perseverance and unshakable love. Therefore, beloved one, when the world chooses to belittle you, smile. When they turn their backs on you, walk forward with dignity. When they twist your words to bring you down, respond with the silence of those who know they belong to a realm far higher than anything this world could ever offer. You are not just a voice among the crowd. You are a trumpet sounding from the very heart of life itself, awakening souls from their slumber, forging paths through territories no one has dared to tread. And you will continue whether the world sees you or not. You will continue even if only angels bear witness. For you do not live to please the world. You live to glorify the One who called you from the deepest places of eternity. They treated you unfairly not because you lacked worth, but because they could not comprehend the true, priceless essence you carry within. They saw only the calmness of your exterior, but failed to recognize the sacred fire burning steadily in the depths of your soul. And because they could not grasp that wonder, they chose to suppress it, to push you aside as if doing so could somehow ease the discomfort they feel about their own inadequacies. They do not understand that you are not a threat to them. You are merely a mirror, reflecting the empty spaces within their own souls, their fears, their forgotten dreams, the desires that once burned brightly, but have since withered away in disappointment. Instead of facing the darkness within themselves, they choose to disturb your peace. They bring chaos into the sanctuary you have patiently nurtured. They sow harsh criticisms into the soil where you have wept countless tears to cultivate hope. But, my beloved child, remember this: true peace cannot be stolen by passing winds. True light is not easily swallowed by darkness. Every attempt to wound you, rather than extinguishing your flame, becomes a catalyst that strengthens you, makes you more resilient, and causes you to shine more brilliantly than ever before. The light within you, the very light they have tried to extinguish, is the reason their own darkness cannot find rest. That light is not something you must struggle to create. It is an inseparable part of you, woven into your being by the sacred breath of life itself. And every time they attempt to cover that light, every time they stab you in the back with lies and betrayals, they only serve to make your light blaze even more fiercely. What they will never understand is this: the universe remembers everything. Not a single tear you have shed falls unnoticed. Not a single wound you have endured because of injustice passes into oblivion. Every action, every word, every silent scheme plotted against you is recorded in sacred archives beyond human comprehension. Justice does not sleep. Truth does not lose its voice. You do not stand alone in this invisible battlefield. There are divine forces, unseen hands beyond your mortal sight, surrounding you like an impenetrable wall of fire. Armies of light are encamped around you, strengthening your every step, mending the tears in your soul, sometimes even before you are aware of them. Prayers have been lifted on your behalf by souls you have never met, from places your feet have never touched, by hearts that love the light. Every arrow they launch at you, instead of piercing through you, strikes an invisible armor forged from faith, hope, and sacred love, and wondrously, each impact only polishes that armor, making it shine more brightly and withstand even more fiercely. Every scheme meant to bring you down, instead of burying you, becomes a resounding call that awakens a hidden reservoir of strength within you. Strength you may not have even known you possessed, because you were not created to fall. You were fashioned by the masterful hand of the one who has triumphed over all darkness. You were hardwired to rise after every stumble, to sing the song of the survivors, of the unbreakable souls. Yes, you may feel lonely on this journey. There will be nights when you wonder why kindness is repaid with betrayal, why sincerity is trampled underfoot, why light must suffer the hatred of darkness. But, my beloved, it is in the darkest nights that the stars shine the brightest. And it is in those very moments that you will come to realize you are never truly alone. The one who sent you still walks beside you, step by step, through every shadowed valley. You were not born to live a life dictated by those who shrink back in fear. You are not the product of a society that merely clings to shallow needs and fleeting desires. Your soul, even before it incarnated into this life, was destined for a higher purpose, not merely to survive, but to live fully, not to chase every passing wind, but to become the very wind that shakes the old foundations, not to dissolve into the crowd, but to walk as a sign of renewal, a living proclamation of love, hope, and the power of rebirth. You were created not just to adapt to the world around you, but to transform it. In every beat of your heart lies a quiet revolution, a revolution that requires no swords nor loud cries, but unfolds through the unwavering stance of a soul that refuses to compromise with darkness. You were born to rebuild crumbling foundations, to restore forgotten values, and to open new paths for hearts weary with despair. And, my beloved child, engrave this truth deep within you like an undying flame. Everyone who once belittled you, underestimated you, or thought you were nothing more than a wisp of smoke ready to vanish in the wind. They were wrong. Their failure to recognize your worth was not because you lacked it, but because their eyes had grown so accustomed to the dark that they could no longer recognize the light. They have never truly touched you. They thought they could grasp you with their assumptions, their shallow judgments, their self-imposed limitations, but they failed to understand you have never been within their reach. Your essence cannot be defined by the whispers behind your back, nor can it be distorted by their fears and jealousies. You are hidden beneath the wings of the Almighty, cloaked in grace and divine protection that their darkened souls cannot penetrate. You do not belong to the small, frantic circles in which they imprison themselves. You are not part of their short-sighted dreams or their narrow visions obsessed only with safety. You were born to step into a future they cannot even imagine, a future woven by sacred promises, by victories belonging to the Spirit, not to the flesh. They lost you, not because you rejected them out of hatred, but simply because you are walking a path they do not have the courage to follow. They do not belong to the land you are journeying toward. They cannot breathe the atmosphere into which you are rising. And this is not your fault. It is merely the natural separation between light and darkness, between great visions and small ones, between souls that dare to soar and those that only dare crawl upon the earth. Do not let their rejection wound you. Do not let their distancing cause you to doubt yourself, for you are not being abandoned. You are being elevated. You are not being cast aside. You are being set apart for a higher, holier purpose. Every time a door closes before you, trust that another, far greater door is swinging open in realms your eyes have not yet seen. You do not need anyone's permission to become what you were destined to be. You do not need to shrink so that others may feel more comfortable. You do not need to hide your light just because it unsettles those who have grown used to the shadows. Stretch yourself out. Blaze brightly. Live boldly and fully as the one you were called to be. Because, my child, this world is in desperate need of souls like yours. Souls that do not merely dream but dare to act. Souls that do not love only on sunny days, but love even in the midst of storms. Souls that do not pray only in times of peace, but know how to fight through tears and blood. Souls that understand that the price of greatness is temporary loneliness, silent wounds, and moments of collapse, only to rise again with even stronger legs. The rejection you once faced will not destroy you. It will forge you. It will strip away what is unnecessary, sharpen you, refine you, so that one day you will stand tall in this world as a pillar of light, a living testimony to the invincible power of love and divine faithfulness. Look forward to where the horizon blazes with the promise of better days. Keep walking without turning back to seek validation from those who cannot see you. Let the old things drift away, because you do not belong to that past. You do not belong to regret, nor to the limitations that once sought to hold you back. You belong to a life overflowing with meaning. You belong to a story greater, more beautiful, and far more sacred than anything you have ever dared to dream. And be assured of this: when you walk in your truth, when you remain faithful to the calling that stirs within your heart, you will not only change your own life, you will become a beacon, piercing the darkness for countless others who are still searching for a way. O chosen one, it is time for you to be resolute, to silence all the lingering doubts that are quietly gnawing at your heart. Do not linger any longer. Do not grieve over what has closed. Do not torment yourself over the doors that have slammed shut before you, for this truth must be engraved into the deepest places of your soul. If a door has closed, it was never truly meant for you to walk through. I know you once pleaded. You stayed awake through the night to pray. You poured all your hopes, all your dreams, every sincere longing into a single opportunity you believed was meant for you. You crafted meticulous plans. You nurtured burning aspirations, believing that if you just tried a little harder, waited just one more day, the door would open. But despite all your efforts, despite all your sincerity, that opportunity still slipped through your fingers like sand. The door closed, snuffing out your hopes like a cold wind, extinguishing a small candle in the night. You questioned where you went wrong. You searched your heart, doubted the faith you once clung to. You fell into the pit of despair, wondering if you were simply not good enough, not worthy enough, or if perhaps you had done something to drive grace away. But my child, listen carefully to the whisper I am breathing into your spirit today. The closing of that door was not a rejection. It was protection. It was mercy. It was a sign that you were being guided by a hand far wiser than your own understanding, by a vision far grander than your limited sight. When you are chosen, not every door is permitted to open before you. Not every path is meant to lead you to your destiny. Not every invitation is worth the price of your soul. There are roads, even those strewn with roses, that lead into darkness. There are opportunities, no matter how dazzling they appear, that are but sweetly disguised traps hiding a bottomless abyss. You cannot live as others do. You cannot walk along ordinary paths, for you have been called to venture into realms beyond their reach. You are destined for higher heavens, for triumphs unsullied by the dust of the world, for glories that mortal eyes cannot fathom. That door closed not to punish you, but to protect you, to shield you from places where the light of your soul would be suffocated, where your noble dreams would be swept away into the vortex of the mundane, where your spirit would be wounded by forces you could not foresee. Had that door opened, you would have lost your way. You would have been disoriented. You would have traded the most precious part of yourself for things that are fleeting and hollow. What you are experiencing is not abandonment. It is refinement. You are not being forsaken amidst the storm. You are being forged into a warrior who can walk through tempests. Not every loss is a true loss. Some things that appear to be failures are, in fact, hidden mercies, silent salvations, secret calls pulling you away from what is unworthy of you. Oh, beloved child, you are on a journey that demands relentless purification, a path where all unnecessary burdens must be stripped away, a path where everything within you must be refined until only pure gold remains, a path where only that which is pure, strong, and enduring may walk beside you. Therefore, do not grieve for what is past. Do not look back at the doors that have closed. Do not cling to old dreams merely because they once stirred your heart. If something truly belongs to you, it will never leave you. If a door is truly meant for you, no force can shut it. Let your heart be still in this truth. Your destiny is not threatened by a closed door. Your future is not hindered by human rejection. Your journey is being guided by a hand that never trembles, by a love that never fails. Every step you take is leading you closer to the promised land. a land not only flowing with milk and honey, but overflowing with light and truth. A place where your heart will no longer be wounded by betrayal. A place where your dreams will no longer be shattered by selfish hands. A place where you will grow, shine, and become everything you were created to be. So, my dear child, lift your head high. Wipe away the tears that still cling to your lashes. Stand firm upon the feet that no storm can sweep away. Gaze steadily at the future calling out to you, with the unwavering faith that what lies ahead is far more glorious than what you have left behind. I know the pain of separation. I see the cracks forming in your heart. I hear the muffled sobs you try so hard to hide. But I also see the light growing stronger within you. I see perseverance being forged through every wound. I see a crown of glory being woven from the very days when you felt at your weakest. You do not belong to the crowd. You do not blend into the artificial consensus or the familiar rhythms the world has built to lull itself to sleep. And it is precisely this that unsettles those who have grown comfortable within their predictable confines. Your presence is a disruptive wind, a tremor that shakes structures built on deceit and illusion. You were not created to extend meaningless days, to retrace the weary patterns handed down by a slumbering world. You were born to disrupt every falsehood, to shake what was thought immovable, to ignite light where only darkness once reigned. Therefore, my beloved child, never take lightly what you are facing. Do not assume that the resistance, the opposition, and the scrutiny you encounter are random or meaningless. They are undeniable evidence that you are touching the deepest layers of this world. They testify that your very presence, every step you take, every word you speak, every choice you make to live in truth, is enough to cause the rotting foundations to tremble. This opposition is real. It is not a figment of your imagination, nor is it a sign that you have strayed from the path. On the contrary, it is a silent yet resounding affirmation that you are walking the right way. But, my child, along with the truth about the challenges, there is another truth even greater. The protection over you is real. When I chose you, I also wrapped you in my impenetrable shield. The attacks may roar, the waves of criticism may rise like the tide, but not a single arrow can pierce the hedge of grace I have set around you. The calling upon your life is real. It is not a fleeting impulse, nor the product of personal ambition. It is a destiny written by the very hand of the Creator, sealed by the blood of a great sacrifice. The power within you, my child, is also real. It is not a power of your own making, nor is it the boasting of the ego. It is the eternal flow of the Holy Spirit, surging through your soul, upholding every step, illuminating every decision, and sustaining every breath. When you act, you are not merely relying on your own strength. You are walking in the power of the one who has sent you. Every scheme devised against you, no matter how sophisticated, no matter how cleverly masked, is nothing more than an unspoken admission that your presence has altered the atmosphere. When they gather to plot and conspire, it is proof that you have touched something too monumental for them to ignore. Every attack, whether subtle or overt, whether insidious or blatant, is a confirmation that the anointing upon your life is operating powerfully and effectively. It is precisely because you carry something truly different that they feel threatened. If you were merely a harmless part of the old decaying system, they would not even bother. Therefore, do not fear when you see them rise up against you. Let them come. Let them devise every plan they think is wise. Let them lay out every scheme, every whisper of slander, every threat of intimidation. For what they do not realize, and what they can never overcome, is this truth. When a person is chosen by the eternal hand, no mortal hand can touch them. You are wrapped in the eternal promise of the faithful one. No force on earth, no enemy in the heavens, no accusation from mankind can revoke the anointing that has been poured upon your head. No lie is powerful enough to drown out the call that was written deep into your soul since the foundation of the world. They may brandish their swords and spears, but you are shielded by a weapon unseen and impenetrable. They may summon furious storms, but your soul is anchored upon the everlasting rock. My child, I want you to understand this. Every resistance you face today is, in fact, forging you into a more resilient warrior. The battles you are confronting are not random. They are the means by which your deepest potential is being awakened, pushing you toward heights even you have not dared to dream of. Through every misunderstanding, every judgment, every rejection, I am engraving upon your soul courage, endurance, and an unshakable faith. Do not let moments of loneliness or seasons of hardship cause you to doubt the eternal truth that you have been chosen. Do not let the shouts of the crowd drown out my gentle whisper within your heart. Remember this: those who are chosen to change the world must first learn to stand firm when the world turns its back on them. Souls that carry the light will always be pursued by the darkness, but light never trembles before the dark. Keep walking, with your head held high and your heart steadfast. Let your silence be the strongest response to gossip. Let your steadfastness testify to an unbreakable faith. And let your victory, not through vengeance or arguments, but through perseverance in love, in truth, in grace, be the resounding proof that nothing can defeat one who has been chosen and sent by heaven itself. My beloved child, there are gifts I have placed within your heart, treasures so rare that this world does not even know how to name them, and thus often disregards or misunderstands them. I have given you a different pair of eyes that see not merely the surface, but pierce through disguises and veils people put up to protect themselves or to deceive one another. These eyes do not seek outward glamour. They see into what is hidden, into the dark corners where truth trembles, waiting to be set free. I have bestowed upon you a vision sharp as a blade of light, a sight powerful enough to tear through illusions and polished yet hollow shells. And because of this, you will often feel like a stranger among crowds, filled with superficial smiles and rituals performed without soul. In rooms overflowing with hollow laughter, where words are used only to cover up the truth, your soul will sigh silently, for you recognize how truth is being smothered under a coat of hollow beauty. They will label you. They will call you overly sensitive, overthinking, or too intense. They will scoff when you make piercing observations about things they deliberately choose to ignore. But do not let these words wound you, my child. Do not let them cause you to doubt the gift I have placed within you, for deep down they know. They know you are right. They feel the light within you, illuminating places they would rather forget. They recognize the truth you carry, but they are not yet ready to face it. You are like a mirror in this world, and a mirror does not need to speak, it only needs to reflect. But to those who have grown accustomed to living in illusion, the reflection you show them is uncomfortable, sometimes even painful, because every time they encounter the light you carry, they are forced to confront what they have denied within themselves. The falsehoods, the compromises, the wounds that remain unhealed. Do not be surprised when your presence stirs the waters others have tried to keep still. Do not be surprised when you are met with coldness, when you are excluded from social circles built on pretense. For I did not call you to blend into the darkness. I called you to be a light, and light always unsettles eyes that have grown accustomed to the dark. You will often wonder, why can't I simply fit in? Why do I always see the things others choose to ignore? My child, that is not weakness. It is strength. A quiet but enduring strength. The strength of souls who have been called out of darkness to live in the truth. Your sensitivity is not a burden, it is a weapon. The ability to sense what is left unsaid, to read the silences between words, to see through hidden motives. That is the sacred inheritance I have placed within you. And no matter how hard this world tries to diminish it with labels and ridicule, know that in my eyes, you are courageous. For courage is not only about charging into battle with sword and shield, but daring to see the truth and refusing to look away. My child, keep seeing with the eyes I have given you. Do not let loneliness blur that vision. Do not let the craving for acceptance cause you to shut your eyes to what your soul perceives. For this world does not need more closed eyes. It needs those who dare to see, who dare to ache, who dare to love with a love that knows both the fractures and the limits. You may find yourself walking solitary paths where few walk beside you, but you are never truly alone. With every step you take, I walk with you. And at the end of this journey, you will look back and see that every tear, every restless night, every moment of isolation, all of it mattered. They have carved your soul into the very vessel I desired, a living witness to the truth amidst an age of deception. My child, do not fear when you find yourself being the only one speaking up, the only one refusing to pretend, the only one who cannot laugh while your heart is crying. Do not fear the judging eyes, the whispers behind your back, the cold handshakes, for your reward is not found in the approval of the crowd, but in the way I look at you, with pride and boundless love. Each time you choose truth over convenience, each time you dare to shine light where others prefer the shadows, you are building lighthouses for other souls to find their way. You are shaking walls that seemed impenetrable. You are quietly helping to change the world, not through loud declarations, but through the silent, steady power of your loyalty to the light. And my child, the day will come when the very things they mocked today will be the things they long for. The day will come when those who once turned their backs on you will seek the truth you have preserved in loneliness. But whether that day comes or not, remember, your worth has never depended on human recognition. It was established long ago, sealed in my heart before the foundations of the world. On the journey I am leading you through, there are lessons that cannot be measured by glittering accolades or the cheers of the crowd. There are victories that do not roar in celebration but are quietly etched into the deepest places of the soul. And today, I want you to grasp a fundamental truth, one that will forever set you apart in a crowded sea of humanity. It is obedience. Talent may capture attention for a moment, but it is obedience that flings wide open the gates of unshakable blessings from heaven. In my kingdom, glory is not reserved for the loudest ones, those who strive to make themselves stand out with the most dazzling displays. No, the universe was crafted by a being of infinite wisdom, and he does not measure worth by noise. The universe quietly records and honors those souls who know how to bow low, how to remain silent, how to obey the sacred yet silent call placed upon their lives. My beloved child, you were not chosen because you were the most glittering among the crowd. You were not called because you dazzled the world with talent or outward confidence. You were chosen because, in the quietest moments, when no stage lights shone, when no eyes were watching, you still dared to listen. You dared to remain silent amidst the clamor and chaos of the world. You dared to keep walking when every wind was against you, when not a single gaze offered encouragement, when no hand reached out to lift you up. That, my child, is obedience, the invisible treasure that not everyone has the heart to guard. Obedience is not a fleeting emotion stirred up in moments of enthusiasm. It is a steadfast choice, made over and over again, even in the dark nights when the soul can no longer sense its way forward. Obedience is when you still rise, even though your body is weary, your heart bleeding from wounds, and your mind burdened with unanswered questions. It is when you refuse retaliation, even though your ego screams for justice. It is when you choose silence amidst slander, patience amidst misunderstanding. It is when you continue sowing goodness, even when the soil before you is parched and no one seems to notice your labor. It is in those moments, the ones unseen, uncelebrated, that the difference is etched between the chosen and the crowd. The crowd craves the bright lights, the applause, the visible triumphs. But the chosen understand that true worth is forged in the shadows, in the silent endurance, in every whispered yes, uttered even as the heart trembles. O my child, in my eyes, one quiet step of obedience is more precious than 1,000 eloquent speeches. One hidden prayer in the lonely night shakes the heavens more powerfully than any roaring crowd. And I see it all. I hear it all. Not a single tear of perseverance you shed is wasted. Not a single time you choose love over anger is forgotten on the eternal pages of the kingdom. Do not let the world deceive you. Do not let flashy rankings, fleeting numbers, or cheap applause convince you that they define success. In the spirit realm, success is not measured by followers, nor weighed by fame, but by unwavering faithfulness to the call within your heart. And obedience is always the key that unlocks enduring victory, a victory that needs no boasting, no proving, for it stands mighty and unquestionable before me. You were chosen to build what others have not yet seen. You were called to plant seeds in fields yet untouched. You were sent to love even when that love is not returned. And with every one of these acts, small, hidden, unseen, you are writing songs of triumph that transcend all human language. There will be days when you feel utterly exhausted, questioning whether everything you are doing holds any meaning at all. There will be long seasons where you sow tirelessly, yet see no sign of life breaking through the soil. But do not lose heart. Do not cease your obedience. For in those seemingly meaningless moments, great foundations are being laid, and miracles are quietly forming beneath the surface where your eyes cannot yet see. I know your heart. I see the silent sacrifices. I know the times you held back tears, the times you suppressed anger, the times you quietly picked up the stones thrown at you and built an altar unto me. And I, the just and faithful one, never overlook a single act of obedience, no matter how small. Keep going. persevere. Remember that every step you take in obedience today is laying the bricks for the great things to come. Every time you choose to obey rather than give up, you are declaring that you belong to a different kingdom, a kingdom of truth, of light, and of unfailing love. My beloved child, do not be afraid if others do not understand you. Do not grieve if you must walk alone down paths the world deems foolish. For you were not called to please man, you were called to please me. And there is no honor more glorious than that. Continue to stand firm, continue to obey, continue to sow even when your hands grow calloused. For the harvest is coming, a harvest that no one can snatch from your hands. For I myself am the one who has promised it, and I will surely bring it to pass. And when that day comes, when radiant light breaks through the darkness, when all that was hidden is revealed in dazzling glory, you will know every act of obedience, every endurance, every quiet offering you made was never in vain. They have been etched into a crown of everlasting glory, a crown that only those who walk courageously in obedience will be worthy to wear. Now, offer me your sincere prayer. You may pray as follows. Lord, you who have engraved my name upon the palm of your hand, today I open my heart to embrace the truth that I am not an accident adrift in this chaotic world. Awaken within my soul the mission you ordained for me from the very beginning. Remove from me all doubt, all burdens of smallness, and grant me spiritual eyes to see clearly the glorious path you have already prepared for me. Strengthen my faith, that I may know I am chosen, set apart, and anointed for works far beyond my own understanding. Lord, amidst a world filled with voices of denial and whispers of doubt, pour out upon me a divine certainty. Let me deeply grasp that my worth cannot be bought with silver or gold, but has been sealed by the very breath of your life. Help me to stand firm in the face of disregard, rejection, and opposition, so that nothing may shake my conviction that I was created in your image and for your sacred purposes. Lord, spread the shadow of your mighty hand over me. Foil every evil scheme, every secret plot against my soul. Overthrow every plan of the enemy before it can even reach my life. Turn every arrow that flies by night into a testament of the supernatural protection you have placed upon me. O faithful defender, fight on my behalf as I hide myself beneath the shelter of your wings. Lord, in the moments when I feel most broken, pour your strength deep into the roots of my soul. When storms arise, make me stand firm like an unshakable oak tree. When betrayal comes from those around me, anchor me in the steadfastness of your unchanging love. Turn my pain into a crown of glory. Refine me in the fire of trials, that I may be worthy of the heavenly throne you have prepared for my life. Lord, burn away every seed of doubt within me. When the spiritual light within me is covered by the clouds of fear, breathe them away with the breath of your truth. Grant me a heart ablaze with unwavering fire, a spirit unshaken by circumstances, undeterred by trials. Teach me to walk with complete faith, believing that all you have destined for me is good, perfect, and always right on time. Lord, engrave deeply upon my heart that every closed door is not a rejection, but a divine redirection from you. Heal every wound caused by abandonment, misunderstanding, and exclusion. Turn every rejection into a launching pad that propels me higher, higher, to the place where I truly belong, Teach me to let go without bitterness, to wait without doubting, and to move forward without looking back. Lord, guard my soul against the snares of compromise. When the world tempts me to trade the light for acceptance, grant me the courage to refuse. When pressure tries to mold me into conformity, remind me that I was created to stand out, not to blend in. Preserve the divine distinction you placed within me, like a precious jewel that cannot be tarnished. Lord, remind me that you are still at work behind the scenes. When I cannot hear your voice, when I see no visible sign, teach me to trust by faith, not by feelings. Let the waiting season be the place where I sink my roots deep into you, so that when my appointed time comes, I will not just walk, I will soar. Unstoppable. Holy Spirit, pour upon me the spirit of discernment. Let me recognize what is truly a calling from you and what is merely noise from the world. When doors open, grant me the wisdom to discern what is from the light and what hides darkness within. When opportunities knock, teach me to heed the gentle prompting in the depths of my soul. Give me sharp spiritual eyes that no deception may ever ensnare me. Lord, breathe new life into the wings of my soul. Let me walk in the authority of the one who is chosen, not in the pride of the flesh, but in the radiant humility of one who knows they are sent by you. Let every step I take leave an imprint of victory, not for my own sake, but so that your name may be exalted through my life. Let the radiance upon me grow ever brighter, so that the enemy trembles and the hungry souls are drawn back to the source of all light. Lord, from the very depths of my being, I bow and give you thanks. Thank you for choosing me out of countless others. Thank you for shaping me through trials, refining me through adversity, and preserving me through battles I did not even see. Thank you for never allowing me to be swallowed by the darkness, even when the world tried again and again to extinguish the light within me. I offer you all the glory, all my life, and all my heart, O you who called, sanctified, and will surely complete the marvelous work you began in me. I lift this prayer to you in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any meaningful and life-giving messages from Him. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully immersed in His love. Amen.